Hey everybody, we're back for another exciting episode of Give No Fucks.
How you doing?
It's my buddy Tex.
What's going on?
I'm as always JC from Jersey.
It's good to see you again, man.
Good to see you too, bro. It's been a minute.
Yeah, it has. So we went ahead and took a little bit of time off to go ahead and get some things handled. So now that we're back, we want to go ahead and, jump right into some of the things that are, in the media and some of the things that you send out to us that you want us to go ahead and talk about. So what do you got for us first, JC?
Oh man, fast food revolution. Little Caesars pizza.
Okay.
Bacon crust. 400 calories a slice. What do we think about this?
Well, okay, so let's go ahead and just throw it up to, to the fuckometer right here. I'm going to go ahead and have to give that absolutely 0 fucks right there.
Really? Bacon crust? Come on, bro. But you were just saying the other day how, like, Little Caesars pizza like crack, and you're giving it 0?
Okay, look.
Break it off a 2 or something.
Well, I can't. I can't. And here's the reason why. The reason why I can't actually give it any fucks is, number one, because the whole bacon craze is played out. Like back in the late 90s, early 2000s, bacon dipped chocolate and throwing bacon on ice cream flavors and all the other stuff with bacon. It was the craze and it was good then. Mm-hmm. I love bacon. You see in my kitchen, I have 12 boxes of the Oscar Mayer fully cooked bacon, ready to go. I love bacon.
This guy's a pork freak right now.
I am, but it comes to that point, where it's like there is that too much. And for me personally, it was when that whole bacon bowl came out. When the bacon bowl came out, it basically, started to give bacon a bad name. Aside from the fact of what we have to look at as far as, the health of not only the adults in America, but as the youth, when you're looking at 460 calories per slice, that's going to make for a whole lot of fat people. And the thing is, I really can't see why you would want to, basically market something like that that's basically going to do so much damage.
I understand. I've been struggling with my weight. I'm sure the viewers noticed from 4 months ago when we started, I don't look the same.
No, not
been through the metamorphosis.
You look good, though. You look really good, though.
I appreciate it, brother. It means a lot. And, 400 calories a slice. Come on. If you're on a diet, that's going to kill a diet in one slice.
It is.
It's going to fuck up your day.
And I don't know how they're serving this pizza. I know that they do the deep dish pizzas. And I know that personally the other day, I've actually bought a Supreme deep dish pizza from Little Caesars.
Those are great.
Mm-hmm. They came in 8 slices, 8 good slices. And I actually ate 2 of them and I was quite satisfied. So to think that if 2 of those slices, again, it's 460 calories, I'm looking at the fact that that's already, 900, plus calories that I've just consumed in eating those 2 slices. So like you said, whether you're on a diet, whether you're trying to eat good, something like that really isn't really good for our society. And the thing is that's what we really have to look at, is making smarter choices as retailers and manufacturers and merchants, making those better choices for the society and give them better options, healthier choices. Because, when you give them the opportunity to choose something negative, a lot of people will. And I hate to say it, I believe that might be something, I hate to say it, make it like the McRib. Make it something that you bring out, limited time only, so that way, people want it and they have the desire for it. But don't make that something that they have that you have all the time, Little Caesars, because you're going to basically ruin your brand. I remember when you first came out, the brand was great, the 2 pizzas, for one price being come out. You'd get a tray like this, wrapped with paper, you'd open it up, it was beautiful. And they've changed that, strategy now. Now, they're still doing the thing, but as a whole, you have to make sure that you're not straying too far from your market. Like Domino's just recently changed, from Domino's Pizza to just Domino's. Because everybody's trying to change, to say functionable. And I think that's why they're doing it. They want to make sure that they're staying relevant in the eyes of people, the pizza people. But again, 460 calories, you need to make this a limited time offer, okay, Little Caesars? Pizza.
I'm going to give you 2 fucks on that, but...
Hey, so
Moving on.
The
Forbes list was released. The richest people in the world. Michael Jordan was added to the billionaires list.
Okay.
Congratulations to Michael. We grew up with the man.
Yep.
Greatest ball player of all time.
Indeed.
Arguable, but
Indeed. I know I myself have definitely put money in his pocket with the purchase of Jordans and other athletic wear.
Right?
And so I want to thank number one, Mike, for everything that he's done just in regards for basketball. I appreciate it. I love the sport. I love playing myself. We actually played earlier today. I got out there, shot around a little bit, which was pretty fun. But it's to the point where I'm actually surprised that it's taken him this long with the whole Nike and Jordan venture, I would have thought that he would have been a billionaire a long time ago.
You know what? A lot of people say the gambling. You know, he had issues with gambling that might have curtailed it a little bit. I don't know. Maybe he went to the horse track and he dropped $1 million. You never know.
I mean, and then it's also, I think, the matter of when they're doing, these results too, because like you said, it could have been he was a billionaire, but then, next week he wasn't, and then, that's when they ran the report. So if they would have ran it a week earlier, maybe he would have made it. But again, Mike, we love you, congratulations, stay up, please talk to Nike about lowering the prices on the shoes. That's definitely, the hood loves the J's. Everybody loves the J's. You need to lower the price on those. If everybody's going to buy them. I mean, because I hate to say it. I mean, it's because with the gentrification of everyone in our society, everybody molding together. I think it's going to come down to eventually Jordan is going to become like the national shoe. And it's going to, so when it comes down to something like that, they need to go ahead and, make a Jordan affordable for everybody. That's like $50, but then allow you to go ahead and be able to add special customization features to it. And, so you can get that extra money.
Start it at $49.99 and have a $59, a $69, a $79 model. Well, like you said, build it up.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Or even if, you start off with, like you said, a $49.99 model, but then you can go ahead and say, for example, you can go ahead and switch out your laces and go ahead and get, maybe laces that do have 24 karat tips, shoelace ends on it. Maybe you want to go ahead and, switch out your insoles, or you want to change the color on it. Stuff like that, I think, would definitely increase the brand. It also allows the buyers to remain individual. Yeah. Because that's the biggest thing that I've noticed. Everybody wants to, be individual, make it seem like they're the hottest new thing or they got the exclusive. But the main thing really is, just trying to show that you're remaining competitive in this market. And so I think that if you were to put out a cheaper Jordan, not only would it help you if maintain your billionaire status, might even take you to trillionaire status, but it's also going to allow the people, again, because I remember when Jordan first came out, when people were getting killed over shoes, it also makes it to the point because everybody can afford them. It's something that, we can all get behind. And like I said, I think it'll be, that one of those universal things that we have, kind of like Coke and Pepsi are now.
Sure, why not? I remember when the Iversons came out, everybody wanted Iversons. It's just whoever. If the LeBrons, I don't even know if LeBron got a bunch of shoes. He probably does.
LeBron has a ton of shoes too. Kobe has a ton of shoes.
Are they good? Are they comparable?
I mean, okay. I like the look of LeBron's. Yeah. As far as the fit, they are nice. Now, I have never played basketball in a pair of LeBron's.
Gotcha.
I have only, I've tried on the Kobe's. I don't, personally, for me, I don't like the way they fit on me. Mm-hmm. And I've never played basketball in a pair of Kobe's. I've played in Iversons and, I like them pretty well. But as far as playing in an actual big name basketball shoe, for me, it's about the Jordan. So, I mean, that's kind of how that comes down. I mean, there's not too many. I mean, the Barkley's a good shoe. But we're getting off topic here. Sounds good. We're going to have a talk, we're actually going to have a show. Let me just go ahead and throw to it, maybe mention it out. We will be doing a show where we're going to talk about fashion and things like that. So again, for the fashion heads, the hoodie heads, sneaker heads and all that stuff, we haven't forgot about you. We're working on something. Yeah. But, it's just not in this show right here. So let's not get off topic. No. So moving on, you said you have another topic as well.
Oh, the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Oh, yes.
There's a buyer, a famous buyer. Would you like to tell him?
Absolutely. I would love to. One of my favorite basketball players of all time, Kevin Garnett, is actually looking to try to buy the Minnesota Timberwolves for $327 million. Now, I would love to see this purchase go through because Kevin was their franchise player for the longest time. I mean, he's an amazing person as a whole. Recently commemorated with a statue there. I mean, he's done a lot for the city and for that area. And for him to, I believe that he has a personal stake. Yeah. Not just a financial stake in the team. And I believe that he would do everything he can, to bring a championship to Minnesota. I believe, that it would be in the best hands, with him. And I really hope, Kevin, big ups to you, for wanting to be there, for stepping your game up, trying to take it to the next level. Again, I hope that it goes through for you. And, I hate to say it, I wish more athletes, were taking that particular route, where they were trying to go from players to maybe coaches and then to owners or, things of that nature.
Mean, Michael Jordan did it, right? Of course.
Yeah.
Let somebody else do it.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like, you have to realize that sports don't last forever because the body doesn't last forever. You have to realize that the whole part of being in the entertainment industry and in the sporting included is that you have to build a brand for yourself. Kevin definitely built a brand for himself in Minnesota, and that's something that I think the people there love and want to see continue. I don't think there's any reason why he wouldn't want to do it, and if he has the money to make this purchase, then by all means do it.
Understood. So
Yeah.
we're going to move on. The Reverend Al Sharpton is under fire right now.
Okay.
Accusations of him taking money to play down racism. Comcast and Verizon are accused of paying off the good Reverend.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to assume he did it. I've heard many, many stories in my lifetime, so I'm going to let my partner talk about it. I don't want to come off as the racist guy, the this, the that. I want the black man to have his opinion.
Well, okay. So
we're going to be real here.
Well, let me preface it as well. I also don't want to come off as being the racist guy or the typical black guy, but allow me to speak freely.
Sure. It's your show. Good.
If someone like yourself and just did came and told me that Al Sharpton is being paid to talk less about racism, I would say I believe it. I definitely expect it is happening because I remember when I was growing up, I remember there were always those social injustices that took place in the urban communities where, cops and things of that nature were targeting, black men and black citizens and doing, violent, things to them. And aside from that, there were also cities and towns that were basically doing things to prevent the incorporation and the spread of wealth in their areas of black people in regards, to denying them business licenses, not allowing them to, again, open businesses and do things like that, do business in their area. And I remember when I was growing up, you would hear basically every week, you would hear one or two new stories about something that had happened or something that was going on. And you would see Jesse Jackson on TV. Mm-hmm. You would see Al Sharpton on TV. And you would see Louis Farrakhan on TV.
Those are the biggest black leaders in the world.
Right.
Nation of Islam in there, Mr. Farrakhan.
And the thing is that while you would see them every week, having a new cause, a new person, a new resolution, things of this nature in order to make things better. And the thing is that over time, you see less and less. Now, the thought process is there to indicate that because you see less, that racism is less of a problem or an issue, which, it's not. But it's the fact that because you are not talking about it as much, it does seem to be, well, hey, it's not the prevalent issue that it once was. Now, do I believe that the reason why some people aren't, taking, to the torches as they used to, as often and as fervently as they did, is because they're receiving, kickbacks from companies and corporations? Yes, I do.
A lot of people allege that his show on MSNBC, Al's show, is because they want to keep him quiet. Now, I watch the show. Now, I'm fair. I watch Fox, I watch MSNBC, I watch CNN. I watch an hour of everything. I'm not going to sit here and be hooked in the bias. Al has a good show.
Okay.
He was accused, the New York Post ran an article a year ago, that back around the time I was born, 82, 83, Al snitched on the mafia. Now, that was a big deal in New York. Now, I wasn't around, really. I don't know. I mean, he was a little kid. I wasn't around. So, what do we know?
Right.
Is it true? Is it false?
I mean, and the thing is whether it's true or false, again, the main question is it relevant? And to be honest, I don't think it is.
Not at all. 30 years ago?
Exactly. I think it's one of the situations where, people will always try to throw dirt or throw shade on your name in order to, to defame you, so, make you appear to be less than you are.
Yeah.
And, that's always happened and it's always going to happen. And so even if his show was good, because I've never seen it, do I believe he can have a good show and, again, still be doing things to go ahead and help subvert, the ascension of, African Americans in this particular United States society? Yes, I do. I believe that there are people that are being paid not to talk about wars that are going on. There are being people being paid not to talk about drug transactions and kidnappings and murders and other things. So I definitely believe that it's possible that a high-profile black man could be paid not to talk about things that are racist. I do. And again, Al, this is going directly to you. I want you to know that if this is true, that I believe you are a disgrace to black men and men everywhere. The last thing that you want to do is to take a stand against your people when you're working in the right. If your people are working or doing things that put them to a detriment or to a negative, then standing against them is the right thing. But if your people are actually working towards, a good motive and, in a better situation, you want to stand with them. And when you're in that position to weigh in and to offer your expert, opinion and, expertise in these situations, it is your duty to do so in a gracious manner and an an honorable manner. The last thing you want to do is to be connected with the same white people that are basically used, to control and to keep us down. Because it basically goes back to the house nigga versus field nigga mentality. By him doing that, it basically places him in this situation of being a house nigga, while the rest of us are out here being field niggas. So, Al, we want to be in a situation where none of us are niggas. So, again, if that is true, you need to stop it. You need to give the money back, because your integrity is going to always be worth more to you than money, because you can't take that money to have him with you. And based off if he is taking the money, I believe you're going to end up going to hell. Just my personal opinion.
I got nothing else to say about that. But speaking of money and integrity,
okay,
we're going to move on to some entertainment. The CEO of Sega Genesis, said recently his biggest regret was in 1994 when Sony offered him the PlayStation, and he turned it down. And now, if you don't know this, in 1994, when they were developing the PlayStation, Sony and Sega were offered a shot at this great system. Now, we all know the hit that it became, but in 94, they were like, we're not sure if a CD-based system is going to take off. I mean, the guy's honest. He made a mistake. What do you think? I mean, it crippled their businesses.
I mean, but you know what? I think it's the matter of you have to look at their bad business practice as, a good lesson for the long run. To basically not count anything or anyone out. Even if they would have taken just, let's say, a 1% interest, just start off, well, hey, you know what, we'll go ahead and start off with developing one game, or one system or whatever. It would have been something. You might have lost a little bit of money, but the thing is, by it taking off as it did, because by working in electronics, you should have seen that boom, going from CD-ROM and DOS systems, from DOS systems, over to, CD-ROM.
I think they were hesitant because Panasonic tried it in '93, Panasonic Real 3DO, and the 3DO was $700 in a bomb, so I guess they figured, wow, this PlayStation isn't going to take off.
But then again, we also have to look at the fact that, again, with the advances of technology, that, again, in the first stages of man, it took hundreds of years for us to take the simplest steps forward. Yes. While now, we're jumping forward at leaps and bounds. So again, I believe that, back in the 80s, 70s, 80s, they should have had an idea that, we were going to transition from these classic, games to something different. So, I mean, you're bad, but, the good side of it is that, PlayStation basically, was able to become that monopoly now.
Yeah.
To build this brand, individually, and aside from it, for Xbox, basically to recognize and follow along with it. Steve Jobs, definitely, very smart man, Apple, running that. So it's kind of like Microsoft, Apple, you got Bill Gates in here. It's like all these brilliant men, working with all these different products. It's kind of like, you should think, that someone would have, had a finger or something in the loop or on the post as far as what they were doing to realize, hey, you know what, these guys are looking over here. Maybe we might want to do this too. But I mean, I remember having my Nintendo. I mean, don't get me wrong. If it were up to me, I would still have it today and would still play it today. And Nintendo, it was a company that I didn't know much about. And to this day, I haven't done much research. But I do know that of all the gaming systems that I've ever played, that PlayStation is the best. It is the one that I prefer. And so, I mean, like I said, I wish that when they were trying to get on with Nintendo and Sega that I would have been able to go ahead and do something myself to go ahead and get stock into the company then.
Who wouldn't?
Yeah, right.
Billion-dollar enterprise now.
Like I said, you only get one bite at the apple. So, this is a lesson, and, sometimes you have to look at the big picture instead of just the window. You know what I'm saying? One little small fragment, in order to see, what can become or what, you're supposed to be doing.
It makes a lot of sense.
Also, speaking of money, we also have a story in regards for Robert De Niro being in the news in regards for owing the IRS money.
Yeah, Mr. De Niro is over $6 million in debt to the IRS.
Okay.
And part of it is they're saying he's living very lavishly. They're saying his apartment in Central Park West is running close to $200,000 a month.
Okay.
Now, if you can imagine an apartment for $200,000 a month, it exists. But they said Mr. De Niro is not as in demand as he was, say, 20 years ago.
Well, and the thing is, I think it's all the matter of what you're looking at here. I mean, I think De Niro is still in demand, but it's more of a different genre now. It's more of the matter where when he was playing, in Carlito's Way and Scarface and
I think you're thinking of Pacino. Talk about De Niro. Sorry. Yeah.
I mean, I said Scarface. Hold on. Carlito's Way.
That's Pacino.
I thought De Niro was in Carlito's Way.
No, sir. That's Godfather 2. You got to trust me. I know him.
Yeah.
You're probably thinking of Taxi Driver and a couple other.
I am. I'm thinking of
Meet the Fockers.
I do. I guess I have to blame my alcohol intake, for me messing that up.
Yeah, I mean, we had a little sip before.
To all my true movie heads, please accept my humble apologies. I normally don't confuse, my actors here, but I definitely made a mistake here.
Happens.
But you know what? Who gives a fuck, nigga? It's my show. I can fuck up if I want to.
He's right about that.
Didn't expect that, did you? Oh yeah, that's how this show get. This show get live. We do what we want. Oh yeah, but we try to keep it, within a certain amount of time because we know y'all motherfuckers ain't gonna watch for long.
An hour now.
Most of y'all motherfuckers probably would have tuned off already. Wouldn't even hear this fucking rant right now. But you know what? To all those motherfuckers, you know what I say? Beep, 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 beep. That's what I say to you. Not gonna say it out loud. I'm just give you sign language. But until then, pew, 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 pew,
wow.
Pew, 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 pew. Anyway, back to De Niro. I think that he's probably spending his money in all the wrong places. Because you know what? When you an actor and you making all those money like he did, but then again, would I be wrong to say that probably his money is going to, weave and cocoa butter?
Oh yeah, he's married to a black lady, but
I mean, for those that didn't get that,
I'm not bringing that one up.
I mean, well, I will, but again, for those that didn't get that, yeah, that was a black woman joke, weaving cocoa butter. But he recently had a dinner where apparently it was like, no, hold on, no, yeah, it was a dinner. It was like him and like a few different, women of color there, so on and so forth.
Okay.
I mean, entertaining. I mean,
why not?
I really don't know. What he's doing. I mean, my understanding is that he has children. So, hopefully, the children are taken care of. As far as, his wife,
we got to break out the Bobby D face.
Yeah.
Not good. Not good.
You're scaring jinxie cats. But, I really don't know what's going on with your Bobby. I hope everything works out for you. To be honest, I hope, he's just like, forget about it. Like, you just... I thought somebody was going to take care of it. They didn't, so, I'm going to go ahead and handle it. But, I hope that it's not a situation where he ends up going to prison because we saw Wesley go to prison. Wesley's black, so, we could try to accept him back after that. But, Bobby, if you go to prison, like, there's no coming back for you. If you go, you're going to be dead.
Especially because, he's 70 years old. There's no, Wesley's the younger guy.
Yeah, but aside from that, like, in the industry as a whole, like, Wesley would be able to come back still because he was that action hero
he still got
role. As far as, De Niro, it was more face and, actual acting. It's like, he's getting, almost like, Fat Brando right about now. Like, he's getting to that point where, you can do the roles, but they're just not as convincing anymore. It's, more the name than the actual character. You see the movie with
Stallone? He fought Stallone in a movie? Really? Rocky versus Raging Bull, they did a movie. Kevin Hart was in it.
I believe that I saw the movie.
It was kind of funny for a minute.
Actually, I'm just trying to remember the name because I do believe I saw it. I
don't remember the name.
I'm trying.
Pass them, you know.
But either way, Bobby, I'm sorry that you're going through that. But like I said, if that's the case, again, cut back on the weave and cocoa butter. You know what I'm saying, and go ahead and maybe you'll go ahead and do another movie. Maybe go ahead and try to make some money. Go ahead and pay some stuff. Work out an arrangement. If that's the case, I got a script for you. Beautiful. Beautiful picture. You actually be paying, kind of like a Godfather type role, you know what I'm saying? But you should just go ahead and call my people. We'll go ahead and talk, and we can go ahead and figure that out. Because I want to make sure you stay out of jail. All right. So what else we got?
Oh, you got more news.
Oh, I do.
You got plenty of news.
I do. All right. So the next thing that we're looking at here is there was a heist. Now, when I say heist, a lot of people automatically think robbery, and that's what I'm talking about. But when I say heist this time, I'm talking about that the news calls it a heist. I call it a jacking. $4.8 million.
Yep.
Million dollars in gold bars were hijacked from an armored car in North Carolina on Interstate I-95. Now, for those that don't travel the I-95 corridor, I mean, a lot of things can happen there. I mean, from my times, running the corridor, it's a lot. Seriously, you are liable to see and do almost anything if you decide, to participate in this game. Anything from drugs to guns and, again, even gold bars. Now, just hearing this story, what's your first thought?
Well, it's being touted as an inside job. Now, the truck was unmarked. There was no specific marking saying this is a gold truck, a money truck. So who would know except for X number of people?
Right.
You're going to rob a truck that you don't know what it is? Come on.
Right. And I have to tell you, automatically, the first thing I heard, as soon as you say armored truck, on 95, you know what I'm saying? Again, inside job. Because anybody that's going to hit it knows if you're going to hit it, you have to hit it on the highway so you can go ahead and get your exit strategy off. And the other side of it is that, it has to be someone on the inside, like you said, to know who or what, they're going to be traveling in and as far as what type of security they have.
Because they shoot on sight. You pull up next to that car too close and they have permission to shoot. It tells you in the back, it's like, we will shoot.
So because they knew what they were traveling in, and they knew basically, the security measures, it had to be an inside job.
I believe it.
So the thing, now here's the other side of it is, now I'm going to ask you this question. You and your crew just got away with $4.8 billion. We're just going to say after you split it, just, for all intents and purposes, you end up with $1 million. What's the first thing you do with $3 million?
I'm going to try to wash it and go to a foreign country.
All right, so you're going to take it and run.
Absolutely, I'm gonna stick around here. The cops bust me, and then they're gonna try to get me to snitch on people. Nah.
But it's gold bars, though.
You can wash it. You have to sell it to somebody on the black market.
Okay, so okay, so who do you know this is gonna buy gold bars?
Collectors.
Okay.
Nowadays, the market. I'm just saying somebody will buy it. Trust me. You get Donald Trump. Hey, Donald.
Okay,
some rich motherfucker.
I definitely believe you could get that. I didn't have time before we did the show to go ahead and check to see what the value of what a gold bar is. Because I'd like to know. They say 4.8 million, but I'd like to know like really how much one of them equates to, because I'd like to know what the street value of a gold brick is. Because I'm pretty sure if I would have run across a gold brick, I'd probably try to buy it myself.
Let's just say it's 10 grand. Even if it's 10 grand a brick, come on, how easy is that?
But then the other side of it is that it's heavy. So the other side is I didn't get their total details in regards to how they pulled this heist off. Was anybody killed? Did they go ahead and just commandeer the truck? It's like how did they pull this off? Because it's like it seems like they had to become out of heat or something, like some type of big action screen movie for people to feel desperate enough in order to try to pull off $4 million heist. And then not only that, it's the fact that once you get it, you still have to find a place in order to get rid of it, in order to collect on it.
That's true. Because who wants $4 million in gold when it's hot? Hot stuff is hard to move.
Yeah, and you can't fucking go just trade it in at the bank.
Nah, they're like, this is stolen.
All right.
You're going home, so.
Yeah, all right. So, again, this one, is definitely, I'll give it this is a 2 fuck situation for me.
Sure.
Yeah, because again, I want to know. This is North Carolina. This is one state away. I mean, who knows? There might be some trickle down economics about to come over here. I might be able to get a gold bar myself. So if anybody knows where I can go ahead and get a gold bar at, or what the going rate for a gold bar is, please go ahead and reach out to me. I definitely want to go ahead and hear that. So the last thing we want to go ahead and talk about is just some quick entertainment news. I love entertainment. I love movies. I love new music. I love everything that comes out because it allows me an opportunity to just ingest and digest
Sure.
all this new information that's coming out. Now, one thing that I'm finding so ironic for me is a lot of the stuff that I grew up on is basically being recycled and brought back out, and they're trying to introduce it to me as if it's something new.
Yeah.
For example, I believe, as you know, in 2017, it's expected that there's going to be a few reboots as far as some of the cartoons that we grew up watching on TV. One of them being one of my particular favorites, which is DuckTales. The story of Scrooge McDuck and his three nephews, Huey, Dewey, and Louie. Great nephews to be exact.
Yeah.
I mean, and it was always such a wonderful show for me, especially when it started off. Life is like a hurricane deep in Duckburg. Race cars, lasers, aeroplane. It's a duck blur.
It takes you back.
Yeah, right? I mean, that's my shit right there.
Simpler time. The Disney afternoon was very popular when we were kids.
That and Gummy Bears, were my shit. I mean, and please believe, if it wasn't Laundry Day, I would have on my DuckTales t-shirt right now to show you how much I love that show. I mean, it's amazing. And so we we look at it as a whole. So they're looking to bring that back. They're also looking to bring back Jim. For those of you that don't remember Jim was a regular girl by day, and she had these magical earrings that she was able to tap into I would say mystical, but it was more of a computer-generated form that would basically transform her into a rock star called Jim. And she called this form Synergy. And she had a band that she played with. She was kind of like the alternative, rocker Barbie, or maybe like that bootleg, Barbie at the time, because the Barbie cartoon was out. They're also looking to do an X-Men reboot, which again I think could be great. And again, with all these great cartoons, being rebooted, it's like, I mean, how do you feel about them trying to take your childhood and basically just repackage it and remarket it, for another audience?
They've done it so many times. Like Ninja Turtles is in its third incarnation.
Okay.
The one from the 2000s was I thought was the most favorite because it was close to the comic book.
Right.
This newer one is more in the middle. It's not towards the comic book. It's not so cartoony.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay. DuckTales, I love Disney Afternoon. If Rescue Rangers came back, I would watch it at least once. I'm like, Darkwing Duck. I wouldn't. I would watch it. I used to play the video games on Nintendo. I mean, I go back. I love those video games.
And I do too. I mean,
so
I definitely love the ability, like you said, thinking back to. I actually take it back a little further. Growing up on Disney, I remember Disney used to show on Sunday nights. They would have, like a movie hour where they would show these, just movies that, from their old vault. So, aside, a lot of people remember early Disney as, Bambi, Snow White, Cinderella. And I remember those big theatrical releases. But I remember, sitting, at home on Sundays, waiting for 8 o'clock to come so I could watch TV with my family. So we could watch, Bed Knobs and Broomsticks with Angela Lansbury. I remember there was the Tale of Mr. Boogedy. There was there was the one with the gnomes. I can't remember the name of that one right now.
The movie or the cartoon?
No, it was a movie. It was a movie with gnomes in it.
Okay.
I forgot the name of it right now.
Because I remember the David the Gnome, but that wasn't Disney.
Well, that was on Nickelodeon. But it was like so many movies that were coming out at the time, and it's like the Mary Poppins and all that other stuff, and it was like. I had a conversation with someone recently about the Disney movies, and they were asking, what is your all-time favorite, Disney, cartoon? And the thing is, I told them Black Cauldron, and they were like, "What? I've never heard of that."
A lot of people haven't seen it.
And that's the thing, and it's like because it's more of a darker, Disney classic, And so again, if they're looking to do remakes, I want the original, but I prefer to see a remake like that, or like remake of The Sword and the Stone, as opposed to this live action version remake of Cinderella that's about to come out.
Yeah, I saw
because it seems like they're just trying to add too much into it now, trying to make it too real, as opposed to just staying with the fantasy from the original story.
I guess they've been watching all the fairy tale movies that come out. They're like PG-13 fairy tales. Angelina Jolie had one. Other people had one.
Right. So, I mean, again, you definitely want to stay current. You want to stay with the market. But again, I hate to say it, I do believe that if you were going to do a movie, and then this is just, from an outsider who's looking to be an insider's point of view, if you're looking to go ahead and decide, hey, you know what, we're going to take one of our classic cartoon movies and we're going to turn it into live action.
Yeah.
You can't do Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, because no matter how you look at it, it's going to look like a gangbang movie. Cinderella is a good, safe bet. You can't do Beauty and the Beast because it's going to look like a bestiality movie. And so, and again, with Aladdin, it's going to, basically with all the 9/11 and terrorists and ISIS and everything, again, there's so many different reasons why you can't do so many movies.
It's weird, though. They did that as a Broadway show, though.
But
Aladdin was done as I don't know how they did it.
I think that what they should have done, in my opinion, if you're going to go ahead and make a live action movie from one of your classics, what you should have made was The Lion King.
Why not?
But you should have made it using an actual, African, prince, story, African people and things of that nature. Go ahead and transform the animals into actual people. I think that right there would have given them better box office ratings, because they were bringing it out, during the end of February, Black History Month. I think it would have gave them a better spin there. I also think they would have given them a better storyline to run with, and also as far as sequels. Because the thing is, Cinderella, they came out with sequels years later. And the thing is, I haven't seen the sequels for Cinderella. I don't know what they're like. I don't know if they're good. But the whole situation is, it's not something that I think, you want to go... After you make this first Cinderella, you're not going to want to go ahead and make another second or third
They did
Cinderella
that so many
afterwards.
times. Disney's notorious for direct-to-video
Right.
DVD, like Lion King 1.5 and 2,
two.
Aladdin 2 and 3. I understand you want to make money, but to me, direct-to-video market is so... Even Steven Seagal, geez, it was like 20 years now he's in direct-to-video. Direct-to-video is so iffy.
Well, direct-to-video is really only
iffy.
for the fans that appreciate the genre.
Absolutely.
And that's why, direct-to-video, just want to release, just limited scale amounts. And but again, I definitely think that if you were to release it that way, if you were looking as far as setting it up for a franchise, because that's what Disney does. They try to set a movie for the franchise. Look at Pirates of the Caribbean. That started off with just a ride.
They're doing another one.
But that's what I'm saying. If you can go ahead and make 4 movies out of a ride, imagine how many movies you could make out of a real movie. And the reason why I think they didn't do, again, Snow White, aside from it being the possibility of it being a gangbang looking movie, or looking like a gangbang movie, is the fact that, again, they already had Snow White and the Huntsman. So, again, you don't want to be the copycat. Sleeping Beauty, you don't want to come, with that again, especially with Frozen, because Frozen, is very similar to the Sleeping Beauty as far as the pretty young maiden being isolated. Yeah, when she isolated herself in the tower, essentially, that's what it was. Separation of family and isolation.
Disney's doing well, they won the Oscar Best Animated Movie, Big Hero 6.
I actually wanted to see that
Won
last
the
night.
Oscar, so
I'll
Disney.
be watching that tonight. I'm going to let y'all know how I feel about Big Hero 6. I hear that it has a kind of sad ending, so I'm kind of actually excited about that, to see how they're going to be trying to offer a mature cartoon for that tween audience. But I didn't want to get off subject, I was just saying, again, Lion King would have been the better choice. Sure. It would have given them better options as far as sequels. Now, Jared Leto has been acting and singing for a very long time. I remember him in My So-Called Life. I remember, him in all these other different movies. I could say one of my favorite movies that I remember seeing him in was Requiem of a Dream.
I've heard of it.
With Jennifer Connelly and Marlon Wayans. I think he was very good in that, very convincing. Recently, I saw a movie where he was playing Dallas Buyers Club. where he was playing the transvestite or something like that. I think he's a very talented actor. So seriously, when I hear that he's going to be playing something, I get interested in watching it.
Sure.
So I've recently heard that Jared Leto is set to play the Joker in the Batman spinoff, Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
Now, you were telling me, just a little bit more about the Suicide Squad as you saw it, what I'm saying, and how it fits out. You want to maybe explain it a little more for the people at home?
Absolutely. Suicide Squad is basically the DC equivalent of the Avengers. It's the bad guys superhero team movie.
Okay.
So basically, you're going to have Will Smith as Deadshot. You're going to have Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn, the Joker's on-again, off-again girlfriend.
Okay.
And various other actors. It's basically going to be the opposite of the Avengers.
All right. And so, again, I definitely think that, every movie, is going to have that, antithesis, especially with superheroes and stuff like that. Got to have a nemesis movie. So, Jared Leto playing the Joker.
Yeah.
Now, Jack Nicholson, as far as big screen Jokers, in my opinion, was always the best Joker until I saw Heath Ledger. I think as far as that older, Joker, the one that, was on TV, as far as, the character and so on and so forth, I think Jack Nicholson did that. I think he portrayed that Joker. But as far as the Joker that they portrayed after that, and all the other movies, and the video games, that very sinister, evil Joker, I think Heath Ledger played that well. So my question is, with this movie here, which Joker are we looking to see? Are we looking to see, that young, crazy Heath Ledger Joker? Or are we going to see that older, white face paint, all the time, Jack Nicholson Joker? Are we going to see, something in the middle? Or, how's that going to play out?
I have no clue. What I would like to see, I'd like to see Mark Hamill's Joker from Batman the Animated Series, the more silly, sadistic one.
Okay.
I don't know if you remember Mark Hamill as the voice of the Joker.
I do.
Our buddy from Star Wars, Luke Skywalker, played the Joker for about 10 years on the Batman cartoon.
And it was amazing. He was just amazing on it. Like you said, he was just the right combination of silly and psycho at the same time. Now, I would love to see that particular Joker, especially from Jared, because I believe that he could play him, physically,
Sure.
as well. All right, so we'd like to go ahead and end the note, on something easy and simple. Big story in the entertainment industry right now is regarding Robin Thicke. Now, again, for those of you that don't know, Robin Thicke is a singer, son of actor Alan Thicke. And Robin has been singing in the entertainment industry for many years. Most recently, she released a few solo albums and gained notoriety with the younger generation as of late.
He's a big deal.
With the song "Blurred Lines" with Pharrell, and most recently he actually released a song, and now he's being sued by the estate of Marvin Gaye and the family because they're saying that he sampled the song "Got to Give It Up" that was released in 1977. Now, I've heard the song.
Yes.
And I know you've heard the song.
Yeah.
And I know that we have both come to the agreement that based off what we heard, that yes, Robin did indeed sample, use, borrow, steal, whatever the words you want to use. Yes, Robin, that's Marvin Gaye's song, that we're hearing right there.
It's definitely the same song. They might have sped it up just a bit for us more modern era people, but
added this effect.
Yeah, a little, a little bass in there, a little faster, but it's the same thing.
Right.
Just I heard Blurred Lines and I heard the Marvin Gaye original, and I heard after 4 seconds of the Marvin Gaye original, I was like, yeah, they're not bullshit.
Now here's my question. Why are we still making this such a big deal?
I think what it is, he didn't want to pay Marvin Gaye and Motown. I think that's what it was. If he would have just cut the check right away, I don't think it would have been an issue.
Okay, and I'm sorry. Please allow me to correct myself. He is being sued by Motown, not Marvin Gaye's estate and family. I want to correct that because I don't want them suing me because I don't have enough for you. I write a song for you. That's about all I can do. But anyway, so the whole thing is it's kind of like I remember when Vanilla Ice released his song
Ice Baby.
Yeah, Ice Baby.
It's a knockoff of Queen and David Bowie.
Right, exactly. And so, but the thing is, it's like, it seems like, there's so many artists that release a song that are sampled or borrowed
Absolutely.
or interpolated or whatever,
like Diddy.
From someone else.
They said Diddy was a sample king back in the day.
Yeah. And so, I mean, at what point do we have to say, hey, you know what, it's cool, it's not, what I'm saying, sampling, what I'm saying, because I remember, I'm trying to think of who it was, but there was this one guy that apparently was known as the 8-second king, because apparently it was like, after so long, you had to pay somebody for it.
Yeah, I heard of it.
So it's like, I mean, well, what is the big deal? I mean, robbing, first of all, pay the man. If you use a man's song and it made you money, you can't help but to pay the man, especially since it helps to boost your career. So you need to go ahead and definitely do that. I can't see any other reason why you wouldn't want to.
Especially when your song is a hit too. He had a hit, you have a hit. It's not like he had a minor B-side that nobody ever heard of.
Right.
No, this was a hit.
And the other side of it too is that, I mean, yeah, like you said, I mean, it's one thing if the person released a song that was a hit and you go ahead and do something with it and it's not a hit, yeah. Or if they did something with it originally and it wasn't a hit, and then you do something with it and it is. But like you said, go ahead and pay the money. Stop being a bitch.
There's another example of that. Ice-T, 99 Problems. Now, Ice-T wrote 99 Problems with the guy from Two Live Crew, Marquise.
Right.
It was not the same hit as when Jay-Z took it and tweaked it.
Right. That's true.
I like the Ice-T version better, but what are you going to do?
But that's the whole thing. But like you said, you don't see Ice-T, suing Jay-Z over 99 Problems. I mean,
fuck no.
There has to be, and also that side, there has to be a point when it's like, we might like something that somebody else does, but it should be the point where, once you release something, you have to give up some type of ownership to it. Yeah. Because, that's the type of society that we live in, where people can take something and go ahead and, expound on it in order to become greater and make money themselves.
Well, that's what Prince talks about. Compulsory license law, which says if you write a song, right, and somebody wants to record it, there's no law that says that they can't do their own version of something.
True.
So that becomes a scenario where he said, well, I wrote Purple Rain, but any motherfucker who wants to rewrite Purple Rain can write it. They just can't sell it.
Yeah, and that's the thing. If I want to go ahead and do 18 different versions or covers of Purple Rain and post them on YouTube, I can. But like you said, if I want to
selling them,
that's the thing. If I want to sell them and make money, I need to give Prince some money for that.
You probably got to give Prince all the money. He's been litigious as a bitch. You don't even have his videos on YouTube.
I tell you now,
I don't get that.
If I were to do 18 covers of Purple Rain and have them on YouTube, that's cool. I don't get no money for it. But if I start selling them, I feel like this: he can get some money. He ain't gonna get all of it. Because he didn't come up with all the different ways and versions. That was me, my talent, my hard work.
I believe
so. My people. Once again, we decided to go ahead and bring you some of these late breaking stories that, again, are asking people, the serious question that we like to ask every week. Are you effing serious? So once again, we want to go ahead and reach out to you. If you have stories that you see or that you hear about or things that make you wonder, are you effing serious? We want you to reach out to us with your suggestions. Again, please give us any feedback that you have in regards to the show. We appreciate all that and love it. It's a beautiful, beautiful day here. The next show that we're going to be doing is going to be our spring break edition. Yeah. So hopefully you'll tune in for that. And so until then, I'm your boy Tex. With me always,
Jersey.
And until then, Godspeed.